Action Planning for School Improvement, Huxley Middle School by Cinnamon Brown, Brian Imageru, and Zarina Nicholas. Huxley Middle School is a Title I school that serves students in grades 6th through 8th. Over the past few years, there has been a steady decline in student population. However, the subgroup Black or African American students still make up over 90% of the school's population. Also, this subgroup is failing well below district and state levels. In the school year of 2015-2016, reading had a pass rate of 39%, mathematics at 29%, science at 42%, social studies at 62%, and writing at 20%. Data overview continued. On the graph to the left, students at Huxley Middle School are scoring well below when compared to the district and state. On a district level, students at Huxley Middle School are performing twice as low. And on a state level, students' performance at Huxley Middle School are almost 3 times lower than the state's performance. On the graph displayed on the right, the subgroup Black or African American is performing at a significantly lower rate than any other subgroup in the school. Also, this subgroup is important to analyze because in the school year of 2015-2016, 437 students were in the subgroup Black or African American out of the total of 458 students in the school. Learner-centered problem for Huxley Middle School. African Americans continue to perform below district and state levels in all subject areas. Students are showing difficulty in summarizing text and not applying literacy skills to other subjects. Instructional goal. In order to improve test scores across disciplines, teachers should teach specific reading strategies that learners would utilize across curriculum and grade levels to achieve mastery in all subject areas. Rationale to support instructional strategies. We have chosen 3 instructional strategies to implement at Huxley Middle School. And the rationale is focusing on African American students will address over 90% of the school's population. In doing so, majority, if not all of the students will benefit from these 3 instructional strategies. As we move along in the year of 2015-2016 school year, we hope that this quote will summarize what our goal is in implementing these 3 instructional strategies. We have identified concepts related to the reading process, the foundations of reading instruction, and research-based strategies to support content teachers in implementing literacy practices that will help cultivate school-wide change.
Response to intervention, also known as RTI, is a process used by educators to help students who are struggling with a skill or lesson. Every teacher will use interventions with any student to help them succeed in the classroom. With the appropriate processes in place, RTI can help Huxley identify students at risk for poor learning outcomes, monitor their progress, and provide evidence-based interventions early on when students first exhibit signs of learning problems. The nature and intensity of such interventions can be continually adjusted depending on each student's responsiveness. Within response to intervention, or RTI, teachers are required to call upon research-based instructional strategies and regular progress monitoring in order to maintain or bring students to grade level reading standards. Based on the data from Huxley Middle School, African American students are performing well below proficiency in all subject areas. Through a consistent, hands-on, data-driven intervention model, we can provide literacy skills across the curriculum and begin to see an increase in test scores. Graphic organizers are defined as a visual display demonstrating the relationship between facts, ideas, and concepts. Using visual and spatial modalities, graphic organizers enable students to organize, comprehend, and internalize new learning. By integrating text and visual imagery, the graphic organizers actively engage a wide variety of learners, including our special needs students. Graphic organizers can also be used for any subject matter and are easily integrated into our course curriculum. Using graphic organizers can be extremely helpful for both students and teachers. It simplifies the teaching and the learning process while making it more enjoyable and interactive for the students. Through the use of graphic organizers at Huxley, we can increase student engagement by providing a hands-on approach to learning. When incorporated into the lesson, graphic organizers can provide students with the opportunity to actively participate and contribute to the learning process. Second, we can develop various cognitive skills like brainstorming and critical analysis. The visual representations also serve as visual cues which aid in the retention and recall of concepts and their relationships. Lastly, we can improve comprehension, which can allow for a deeper understanding of the content that teachers will be teaching. Proficient reading skills are essential to learning mathematics, science, and social studies concepts. Teachers of these subject areas must also think of themselves in the broad sense as teachers of reading. A variety of pre-reading, reading, and after-reading strategies must be accessible to content teachers to support students' development as independent, strategic, and engaged readers of expository texts. The strategies on this slide are meant to help all students to successfully transfer reading skills to other content areas, but will be particularly useful for Huxley students. Structured learning experiences that promote creative and critical thinking, provide opportunities for substantial discourse, encourage deep knowledge, and making connections to the world as they know it will be critical for our students. The more teachers know about literacy teaching, the more effective he or she will be at teaching their content.
Professional Learning Plan. Professional Learning Plan establishes short and long-term plans for professional learning and implementation of the learning. The plans guide individuals and schools in the district and states in according learning experiences designed to achieve outcomes of the educators and students. As you can see here, we have some types of professional developments that will be implemented into our professional learning plan um, as we build our action plan for school improvement. So we have all day and half day professional development that we offer to teachers, um, teacher workshops within the school or outside the school, some cross curricular learning walks for teachers within the school so they can go into observe other classrooms. Team-led breakout sessions, so that would look like maybe at a maybe during an in-service or a teacher work day where teams could either lead a breakout session or go to breakout sessions to develop new skills and new teaching strategies in district or out of district conferences and observing other teachers. So these are some of the plans. These are some of the professional developments that we plan on um, offering to our teachers. So in every professional learning plan, there will be some responsibilities delegated to running the plan. The principal will be setting up the professional developments, monitoring student learning progress, and weekly walkthroughs. The assistant principal will be doing something similar. We assist in monitoring student progress in student learning, assist in check-ins with the teacher as needed. The teacher's responsibility is administering formative and summative assessments to students, and they will be monitoring progress all year. And team leads of each grade level will lead PD, and the instructional coach or the instructional teacher monitors the progress of students and supports teachers by assisting in implementing strategies and will also lead a PD. So the evaluation plan is very important because it will show us the progress our students are making in their student learning. As you see here, we have formative assessment and a summative assessment. Formative assessment is pretty much what the teacher is doing at that moment, usually either before or during. So in the formative assessment, you have teacher observations, group discussions, progress monitoring, Daily check-ins, exit tickets, in-class discussions, running records, and surveys could all be used as a formative assessment. For the summative assessments, which is used usually at the end of the year, sometimes in the middle of the year as well. As you can see, you can do a mid-year assessment to see where your students are when it comes to their progress, class unit test, final projects, end of the year assessments, standardized tests, and surveys. So these are a few examples you can use when it comes to formative assessments and summative assessments to track student learning and progress monitoring. Questions for feedback. Some questions we came up with were, what strategies can we use to transfer reading skills across the content areas? Where and how is reading instruction usually conducted at school? I think it's very important to know where the setting is. If little to no growth is being made, what other strategies can be implemented to help supplement what teachers are already using? So if we're not making the progress or growth we are looking for, what other strategies can we use that we're already using to supplement those strategies? And how will we progress monitor to ensure growth in student performance? So I think it's important to kind of, what tool will we be using to ensure that students are growing in their performance? And lastly, here's our reference page. All the references we are giving credit to, where we compiled all our information from.